Flash crash, fast cash. Now, Roger is the founder of Wealth Press, and he's a former hedge fund trader with 25 years of experience, and he managed over 900 million at one point in his career. And he ran a fund with one of the current economic advisors to President Trump, and his clients have included one of the 10 wealthiest families in America. So I think the man's got some credentials there. He's been featured on CNBC, CNN, Forbes, Bloomberg, and Fox Business. And just one of his strategies turned $10,000 that he invested in 2010 to more than $3 million today. Now, in Roger's presentation today, he's going to talk about how to trade extreme volatile markets, the markets we're currently in, I think we can all agree, how his portfolio is always protected from market crashes. Obviously, he's a smart man, and why a systematic approach to trading is the best for 99% of traders. And with that, let's welcome Roger Scott to the summit. Good morning, Roger.
Well, thank you so much, Raleigh. I really appreciate you doing that. Let me go ahead and share my screen with everybody, and we'll get started right away. Just one correction, that system went from $10,000 all the way to $4.1 million. And that's actually what we're going to be talking about in just a few seconds. Can everyone see my screen and hear me okay?
Looks good on my end, Roger.
Good, perfect. Now, here's the deal, folks. I have a huge presentation. We don't have a huge amount of time. So here's the deal. I will try to answer every question, every pertinent question once we are finished. Let me get through the slides and then we'll go through everything and I'll answer any questions that you may have. So with that, let us begin. So we're going to talk about how to go from a flash crash to some serious fast cash. And yeah, it's hard saying that about 300 times, but we're going to try to get through it today. So by the end of this class, you'll know the exact method that I'm using to potentially earn $3,680 or more within the next 14 days. Now, that number, that $3,680, that's not a random number. It's not a number that I just came up with from the sky. It's an actual number, and you'll learn all about it. But keep your eye on that number. And every time you hear me say 14 days, it's actually 10 trading sessions. So I'm going to give you the number one fast cash stock right now that I'm looking at, and I'm not here to avoid the facts. I know a lot of traders have been avoiding the facts. If you search the internet about stock trading, almost everyone talks about the good times. Notice nobody ever talks about the time that it hurt, right? No, you notice CNBC, turn on CNBC, the market goes down. Everyone's talking profit taking, right? How come they never say loss taking? For every winner, there's a loser. For every loser, there's a winner. But they're always saying profit taking. They're never saying loss taking. But that's just part of the game. For every winner, there's a loser. But when there's an unexpected flash crash, it hurts. It really hurts. And statistics show that there's a flash crash, and it happens almost every single year. They're a lot most common than most people believe. In the past 10 years, we've had 9. That's right, 9. Boy, oh boy, flash crashes hurt. They hurt everyone. They devastate people. They cause some people to get out of the business. It's not pretty for anyone. Some people, they make life-changing decisions just to lose all of it when a flash crash happens. It's called walking up the stairs and falling down. You might have seen it with a lot of credit spread option sellers. They make $5, and then they lose all of it with one trade. It happens all the time. All right, so it happens over and over and over. You know what they say, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, your results will be the same? Well, it happens here all the time. But here's the thing, folks. It doesn't have to be this way. It does not have to be this way, not even close. Today, I'm going to make a deep dive. We're going to take a very deep dive into the markets, and I'm going to teach you some very cool things, and I'm going to point out the things that professional traders do that amateurs do not do that you can easily incorporate into your account. Even if you walk away today, you never talk to me again, we say goodbye to each other, you could use things here to incorporate into your account to make a significant difference in your returns, and I'll talk to you about it today. And I'm going to show you how you can earn, again, remember that $3,680 pops up again over the next 2 weeks. So as Raleigh said, I'm not going to get into it today. We just don't have the time. You might have seen me on Fox, CNBC Business Show, Bloomberg The Street. I was on Wealth 365. I've done these shows a million times. I've been around the block more than once. And I'm not going to be here like the other guys. I'm not going to go into long details about how I turned $20 million into over $740 million, or how I managed over $900 million in my 26-year career, or how I managed money for one of the top 10 wealthiest families on earth, or how my hedge fund manager is right now the current senior financial advisor to the White House. He was actually on CNN on Friday, really getting into it with CNN, CNN, President Trump. Anyway, I'll save that for another day. Instead of just bragging, let's get into some hard truths. I've never shared this story publicly, but I'm going to do it today. Back in 2005, I was on top of the world. I thought I was Superman, all right? I was becoming king of Wall Street. My fund was going crazy. I live in Florida now. I used to live in Los Angeles back then. Flash crash happens, changed my approach forever. Never thought the same way again after that. In a single day, I lost $6 million. Now, you're probably thinking, a lot of people think this way. They're like, well, you were a hedge fund manager, $900 million, blah, blah, blah. $6 million, that's just a spit in a bucket. Well, I was building a house for cash in Beverly Hills at that time. And I was almost done building that house. And the value of that house that I was building was about $6.6 million. So imagine you are building a house with cash, you just paid it off, whatever your house is worth, and someone just rips it from you. $200,000, $300,000, $1 million, $2 million, whatever it is. Just imagine somebody in a single day rips the value of your paid off house completely from. It hurt. It hurt. How would you react to that? I was shocked. I debated quitting, but I'm a big drama queen. I debate quitting every time I lost $100,000. So that wasn't the first time. That would probably last 30 seconds. I didn't give up. I went back to the lab and I diagnosed what went wrong. And then I began doing a lot of research, a whole lot of research. And I noticed something very interesting. In 99, when we had a flash crash of 1999, it was quickly followed by a 39.9% surge in the S&P. Now, you're probably thinking 39.9% is not such a big deal. Think about this. The S&P 500 gives us an annual return of 5.92 to 5.98% per year on average over the past 20 years. Oh yeah, it's like that. I'm just reporting. Don't hate me for that. 6% is not really pretty. S&P is a counter trend market. Now, 39.9%, if you traded that with options, you're talking about 900%, 1,000. So people made out like bandits when this happened. After the horrific events of 9/11, I'll never forget coming into my office, turning on the TV. Internet wasn't working when the planes were hitting the towers. It was too much bandwidth, but it was crazy. It was so bad. I remember President Bush, he had to close the markets early. I remember I was in LA. I was sitting in my office at like 5:30 in the morning because it was Pacific time with my mouth just dropping, going. It was a very, very sad time. But just 1 month later, the entire stock market jumped 18.8%. Again, that's what you would get 3.5 years in an S&P buy and hold over the last 20 years. And if you traded options, once again, that would be more like 300%. That would be maybe 250, 300. So we're talking about big gains. 2003, there was another flash crash in the S&P. Guess what happened? Boeing, everybody knows Boeing stock, right? We're all familiar. It's a big, large chip stock. Boeing stock dropped 26%. 26%, folks. But everybody was writing it off. Guess what happened? It earned investors $5.71 billion with a B, $billion. It was very obvious to me and everyone else around me because I had a team of MIT guys doing research, and we saw that every time there was a flash crash, there was an opportunity to make $3,680, again, $3,680 or more in fast cash. Flash crash, fast cash. And guess what? Remember that $6 million I lost? You guys remember, I talked about it just a minute ago. I ended up making $36 million in my fund upon that recovery. But before I give away my number one fast cash stock, let's talk about the pink elephant in the room, right? How many of you lost money here? By the way, I was telling everybody and their mother from December to February that this was going to happen. You could look at my videos if you don't believe me, but yes. How many of you guys lost money? All right. This was the quickest drop in the S&P since the 2008 Great Recession. In just 1 week, the global economy, the global stock market lost $6 trillion. That's trillion with a T. The Dow Jones lost more in that period of time than it was valued when I started trading in the 90s. It was just trying to get to $10,000. So we're talking some real moves. The sellers, they don't realize there's a massive profit opportunity after these flash crashes. It's like Black Friday shopping in the stock market. I'm not kidding. Remember that 20% flash crash in late 2018? It happened when we started the trade war, when President Trump started the trade war with China. It was around November, December of 2018. We had the biggest crash in history that lasted like a week. And I was telling everyone, buy. The market just went whoop. Well, guess what happened? I was gearing up for some fast cash. Here's what happened next. And that happened. The market kept going all the way till this February. We're talking over a year, 14 months straight after that. 64.61%, 70%, 113%. Earning some of our followers some real fast cash. Now, how's this possible? All right. It's got everything to do with my fast cash profit rules. You guys want to hear about it? The flash crash 2005 taught me 3 vital rules. You guys gotta take a piece of paper, write this down. We're gonna get deeper and deeper and deeper. Fast cash, go with the flow. Identify the strongest horse. Attack future flash crashes with a gladiator hedge. Believe it or not, I know these sound really simple. It sounds like anyone can be doing this. Sounds like almost everyone's doing it, but believe it or not, almost nobody here. We've got a lot of people here. Let's see here. Yeah, we've got a lot of people here. Almost nobody is doing this. So go with the flow. What does that mean? Now, I know I'm from California, and California is one of those, what do they call California? They call Hollywood something, Fairyland, or some weird name. But anyway, this is no hippie stuff here. All right. Real hedge fund management professional stuff. Simple approach to following the money, meaning investing along trillions and trillions of dollars flowing into the markets every day. Please take a piece of paper and a pen. We're going to go into something very important very soon. After this flash crash started in late February, a few things caught my attention. First of all, the Fed stepped in. The Fed stepped in, immediately cooperated, cut interest rates to practically zero. That's huge. Now, what happened the last time the Fed cut rates? 29.16% on a CVS option in days. 135.08% on Cuervo options. QRVO makes chips for Apple. You should take note of this company. Very important company. 192% on SWKS options. That's big. Not in a year, not in 6 months, not in 3 months, in a matter of days. But to make things even more interesting, President Trump, he came in, this promised to inject over $2.2 trillion into the economy, and the number is even higher now. That's a stimulus the size of 2.5 times the size of what was given in 2008. And because we learned from 2008, there's a lot less likelihood that it will be abused by companies. We all know what I'm talking about. Now, if you're going to learn anything from today's class, I want you to pay very close, and I mean very close attention to what I'm about to show you, tell you, and talk to you about. This is important, all right? I'm not selling you anything here. Listen carefully. You see this blue line here? You notice it goes above and below zero. Look at the dates below. You see how it goes from 2008 to 2020? So notice that the Fed started putting money, quantitative easing. Obama Yellen, they looked at each other. They said, if we don't start putting money in 2008 into the market, things are not going to be pretty. Because you had a real estate recession, you had a stock market, things were tough all over, for lack of a better term. Things were tough all over. So they decided to start putting money into the market. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, they started putting money into that market. And they did from 2008 to 2014. Now 2008, 2014, and then they started slowing down in 2014 till now. And boy, oh boy, they're all in now. Actually, they started putting money in before now. They started putting money in when I mentioned the trade war started last November. They started trickling in because they saw things coming, but it really, I mean, nothing compared to what we're seeing now. But 2008 to 2014, 16 years, right? 6 years, right? 2014, 2020, 6 years, right? So from 2008 to 2014, they're putting money into the markets. And then in 2014, they're like, the markets can do without us now. They can support themselves. Let's take the training wheels off, okay? So now look below. Look at 2008 to 2014. I didn't make this up. I wasn't creative with these numbers. The global stock market in 2008 was worth $34 trillion. In 2014, the stock market was worth $70 trillion. It doubled in size, give or take, all right? Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, where is 2015, 16, 17? Well, the stock, it's been 6 more years. The stock market should be 100. What if I told you before this little fiasco that we had called COVID-19 crash, what if I told you that the stock market did not increase in value at all since 2014? So when the Fed was doing this from 2008 to 2014, the global stock market went from 34 trillion to 69 trillion. And what did it do between 2014 and 2020? Did Fed put money in? So what is going on now? They're doing exactly what they did in 2008. And between 2008 and 2014, the global stock market doubled. I mean, doubled. The US stock market, the global stock market in 2008 was worth $34 trillion. The US stock market right now is worth about $30 trillion. Again, I'm a little quasi on the numbers because I don't know how much of the market cap was wiped out by this Corona fiasco, but not as much because the market has recovered substantially. So again, my point, what am I getting at here? My point is when the Fed starts putting money into the market, global economies don't go up. They don't become bullish. They double in size. And when they don't, nothing happens. Because between 2014 and 2019 and a half, 2020, nothing happened. Global stock market did not increase in size. That's right. Isn't that nobody's talking about this. But the benefits of the federal government putting money into the market is explosive. And I mean explosive. It's one of the biggest reasons we've seen this shocking recovery over the last 30 days. So history shows that quantitative easing is potentially twice, I would say more like 4 times as powerful as a simple interest rate cut. Meaning a $4,400 strategy return on an AMD stock option could really be closer to $9,000. $7,350 strategy on AVGO could really be worth over $14,000. So fast cash rule 2. So the first is we go with the flow, and the flow is going to be money is going to be moving into the stock market for the foreseeable future. And I'm looking for the stock market to double its size over the next 6 years. I'm not looking for a bull market. I'm looking for it to double its size, meaning I'm looking for a bull market for the next 12 years. Because this quantitative easing completely distorts the regular 4-year cycle, and it just causes a bull market, much like we had from 2008 to 2020. Now, what do I mean by identifying the strongest horse in the race? I have a proprietary strategy. It's a system. It's an indicator system called C.S.I. No, I didn't steal it from that hit show 10 years ago, C.S.I. It stands for Cumulative Strength Index, and it measures performance of one stock versus the other stock. So when the flash crash occurs, did you see a major tip-off and something interesting happened? Something really, really interesting happened if you look at the market from a strength perspective. Where did it all start? In China, right? China. Chinese disease, China, coronavirus. Where are all electronics made? In China, right? No trick. It's not a trick question. Chip stocks, Apple parts, China, and more China, right? Well, guess what? Everybody was selling sell. One thing grabbed my attention. The stocks with the highest correlation to everything that goes on in China, they were holding up the best. It was unreal, even till this day. S&P 500 versus NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ 100 has tech stocks, consumer discretionary stocks, and healthcare stocks. Now, forget healthcare, but everything else that's consumer discretionary and technology, that's China. It may be an American company, but it's made in China, okay? So look at the NASDAQ 100 compared to the S&P. Now, the S&P 500 has energy stocks, consumer utility stocks, production stocks, energies, all of these stocks that are weighting the market down. NASDAQ 100 doesn't have it. But even though all of this started in China, they were holding up the best. If you looked at internally, because I thought the market cap was the issue, because a lot of the big cap stocks have more say or more authority within the index, the S&P 500 was lagging behind. The stocks that were supposed to fall the most, they stayed up the most. After seeing this, my eyes were completely locked on the NASDAQ 100. Even though your favorite financial talk show host is probably telling you to stay away from tech stocks right now. Now, when you see stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, Micron, Microchip, they were all showing strength. Look at relative strength of Microsoft compared to the S&P 500. It was killing it. Look at Apple versus S&P. It was killing it. Nvidia versus S&P. It was killing it. These are already some of the best, most explosive stocks. Previously, handing us verified profits, 64%, 76%, 71%, 152%, all within 14 days or 10 trading sessions. Not years, not months, practically weeks. How about 154% on Micron? So by using my proprietary C.S.I formula to take the strongest NASDAQ 100 stocks, and this is actually a kind of blurted out version of what it looks like. Every day I have stocks competing for each other. And it tells me strongest, weakest, strongest, weakest. And it's one thing comparing a stock to an indicator, but it's another thing comparing a stock to another stock. You get to see exactly what's going on in real time. That's how I always know the strongest set of stocks, the strongest stocks in the strongest sector, the weakest stock, the weakest stocks in the weakest sector, and so on and so on and so on. Now, when you combine that with the first two steps, go with the flow, identify the strongest horse, you can easily earn fast cash within the next few weeks. Folks, I see a lot of questions. I promise I'll get to all of your questions when we are done. So I did a little digging. I'm one of those guys. I'm a technical trader. I'm a numbers guy. I'm always trying to dig and find out, get under the hood and so forth and so forth and so forth. And I found out that this type of profit opportunity, it doesn't just happen once a year. It's not a situation that you need to have a crash to take advantage of. That's right. It happens 24 times per year or bi-weekly, every 15 days, give or take weekends, holidays, but roughly every 15 days. With verified portfolio profits, $2,042, $5,535. How about $8,567? These are real strategy returns, and they happen like clockwork every 2 weeks. You get 2 days notice ahead of time. So if you live in Australia and your time zone is totally messed up, or if you live in Europe, or if you live in China, or if you live in anywhere in the world, if practically on Mars, if you have an internet connection, you can get these trades. You can't. More fast cash gains like $5,390, $6,490. How about $10,342? Now, can that change your life? You better believe it. You better believe it. There's more. 3,400, 5,100, 8,000, 6,400. These are verified real profits. And like I said, every 2 weeks, like clockwork. 3,300, 4,500, 6,300, 6,500, 3,800, 4,600, 5,200, 5,700, 3,300, all done with the precision of a hedge fund. Now, I had my, I'm always, like I said, I'm always looking at numbers. I'm always trying to figure out what's going on. Craig, my assistant, I had him run some numbers. I had put a little homework on him and triple check all the numbers. We found that since 2010, which is how long we've had this program, and it has never been changed, adjusted, modified, tweaked. It is exactly the same program since we started in 2010 with $10,000. Since 2010, 585 profit payments with fast cash. Pay attention. This is very, very important. In the future, there's going to be another flash crash. There will always be a flash crash. It's just part of the economy. It's the way for the markets to even out, to get away from being overbought to being underbought, to being potentially ripe for opportunities. It's inevitable. It's going to happen regardless of what we think, what we believe. It's just the ebb and flow of the market. Look, no matter, even if you're a professional basketball player like Michael Jordan, for example, you're still going to lose some games. You're not always going to win. The market works the same way. It has to have some corrections. It's just part of the beast. It's part of the natural rhythm of the market. Fighting it is no good. Now, in order to continue making these profits, you need something. Now, this is very important. This is very, very, very important. Why? I'll tell you why. There's hundreds of people in this class right now. But when I get deep in this and I talk about this, you'll think to yourself, and you'll see hardly anybody on this broadcast uses a hedge in their portfolio. Do you know that there's not one hedge fund in the world that does not always have a hedge? Why don't retail investors do the same thing? What separates a hedge fund from a retail investor? Nothing, especially after I show you this. So I've been doing this for 26 years now. Back testing. I've studied volatility. I've studied options, futures, Forex, everything. Back tested everything under the sun 1,000,000 times over. Now, gold, it's not a bad hedge. It's a respectable hedge. When money's not shifting in or out of the dollar, greenback, that could be a problem. That happened 3 weeks ago, or time flies, about 5 weeks ago. 272.92 is not bad for a hedge, right? 6% from the US stock market a year, 272% in 2 weeks from a hedge, while your portfolio is completely protected. Not bad, right? How about selling energy ETF? This is a real trade we did during the crash, by the way. 377%. Not bad, right? None of these are resilient as what I'm about to show you. And you're obviously going to write it down, and you're going to want to put it in your portfolio ASAP, like yesterday. It's called the Gladiator hedge. I'm not charging you for this info. You need to have this information. You need to be prepared for the next crash. You need to be prepared for the next sell-off without having to use a tight stop loss and liquidate every one of your stocks before it starts rising, right? How many times does that happen? How many times have you had a little downturn, you liquidate your stocks because you have a stop loss, and then what happens? The market comes back, and next thing you know, you could have been in profit zone. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Not taking a trade, happens all the time. We miss out on trades all the time. Getting stopped out on a bad trade, love it. No problem there. But you know what I really hate the most? Getting stopped out of a trade that ends up going in my direction after I'm stopped out. I hate when that happens. Man, I hate when that happens. Everything was right. You had it all figured out, and you get stopped out like literally by like a quarter, and then the trade goes. How many times does that happen to you? Stop that from ever happening to you again. How about 265%? It's not bad. It's an actual hedge trade. And TMF is a triple leverage bond ETF, which you can use in your stock portfolio to hedge your position. It's completely IRA friendly. Write that down. I told you I'd give you guys some added value here. I want you guys to have some good stuff here. How about 400 41%. Actual trade, 2 weeks holding time, triple leveraged bond in your portfolio. You don't have to short this. When the stock market goes down, this asset naturally goes up. If you don't believe me, take a look at the chart. How about 587% from a 10 trading day position? That's an actual hedge. How about that? Now, is there one reason why you're not instituting this in your account at any given time? Use this instead of stop loss. It's a lot better. It's a natural hedge. It has a natural exposure to the stock market. It can keep you in your positions a lot longer by simply using this as a hedge. So, flash crashes will happen. Our entire portfolio is protected. And we can even forget protecting. We can even earn money as a result of this. It's not just going to lock in our loss and give us an equal profit. We're talking about making money during crashes. This is what I call a cluster. Now, you may be asking yourself, what exactly is a cluster, Roger? Well, professional traders don't put all their eggs in one basket. Have you ever heard the term program buying, program selling? You've heard of that, right? Hedge funds press a button and they have a pre-programmed basket, not one, not two, a basket of stocks that they buy at one time or they sell at one time. They get their share size based on volatility adjustments, which I can't get into right now because we would be here for about 3 hours if we did. But what I can tell you is that they don't put all their eggs in one basket. Can you imagine, hey, I'm a $1 billion hedge fund. Let me go buy 100,000 shares of Apple. They don't do that. They buy little by little. They buy baskets. And that's what this is. We call this a cluster. You can call it a basket. You can call it a cluster. We include 3 stocks and 1 ETF hedge, the TMF, the one that I showed you a few minutes ago. It's always in there in various proportions, depending on how bearish or how bullish the market gets. That way, we don't have all our eggs in one basket. Now, here's a period. This is a real cluster. They always last 2 weeks. So you get in one, IRA friendly, don't have to go short. You get into the cluster, and then you hold it for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later, we liquidate it, and we enter another cluster, and we keep doing the same thing over and over. That way, we don't put all our eggs in one basket. We have a hedge, and we use the strongest stocks, and we go with the flow. We start mimicking how a professional trader, how a hedge fund trades. Then we can reap the same rewards that a hedge fund. And then we can go from $10,000 to $4.1 million. Let me continue. So here's a period where the stock market sucked. This is a 2-week period. Stock market sucked. Amazon, Adobe, Citrix, they all lost money. But our TMF hedge made money to cover, and we came out ahead. How about this? It's not a coincidence. This happens again and again and again. Some stocks will make money. Some stocks will not make money. We don't care. We care about the cluster as a whole. We want to make sure the cluster makes money. We want to make sure that the entire position makes money. If you have a cluster and 3 positions lose money and 1 position makes a ton of shit, excuse my French, a shitload of money, do you really care? It's about how much you make or lose. It's not about how so the bottom line is, what if you can create a cluster every 2 weeks that takes into account the strongest stocks, the perfect cocktail of positions designed to ride the market over the next few weeks. That's what this is. So even when the market's dropped just recently, about a month and a half ago, not that long ago, can you imagine? I never thought I would hear myself saying that. The market dropped a historic 7.8% in one day during the coronavirus crash. Now, I'm sure you guys want to know how much we made. 33.5%. That's how much we actually made during this whole period where everybody was losing their shirt, when everybody's IRAs were just being destroyed, when the Dow Jones lost over 10,000 points. Our cluster made 33.5%. Now, you want to know what the hedge made during the worst crash since 2008? That's an actual That was an actual profit on the hedge. So the stocks went down, but the hedge, it saved our day. And as a result, we made 33.5% in 15 days during the worst period since 2008. And it works perfectly when you pair it with the right stocks. Because sometimes, guess what will happen? The bond market will go up and the stock market goes up as well, just like here, and you can score out of ballpark. Now, I picked these fast cash stocks with my proprietary cumulative strength index formula. It tells me the 3 perfect, and I mean the perfect stocks to own that will mix with the next 2 weeks. Like I said, it's the perfect cocktail. I see where the market's going. My system tells me, Roger, you need these 3 stocks, and you need the hedge, and you need this percentage of each stock and each hedge to give you the perfect exposure for the next 2 weeks, which is exactly how a hedge fund would trade. Let me give you one of these stocks right now, all right? Just one of the stocks. This is live. It's my fast cash stock. Now, why do I like Autodesk right now? Because it's a large cap stock. This is one of the 3 stocks. It's a large cap stocks, but it has the potential to grow. In other words, it still has the potential like a small cap stock to grow. Let me explain to you why. Autodesk makes a software called AutoCAD. AutoCAD is a software. It's an industry standard software made for architects, engineers, designers, and so forth. They cannot work without it. In other words, if they make something, they have to give it in an AutoCAD file to an engineer. If an architect draws something, they have to give it in AutoCAD to an engineer. The engineer submits it in AutoCAD to the city electronically. I mean, this is a standardized program. What I love about this program, it's turning now into a subscription model. And there's only 5 million people on their subscription model. There's 14 million people remaining on the old model, and they're about to pull one of those. If you got 90 days or we're locking it, so you have to be on the new model. So they're about to get a huge influx. And again, this is not a program where there's 5 other companies making similar programs. They are the only one. They're the only one. They don't really have a lot of competition, if any competition. So if you're an engineer, if you're a designer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I love this stock. Now, let me explain why you would be a complete fool. You would have monkey brains to leave this broadcast right now. Now, you could buy some Autodesk. I'm sure it's going to go up. I mean, I'm not sure of anything after what just happened with Corona, but in most likelihood, the stock will go up because it's it's oversold right now due to the Corona pandemic. And you could make that $3,680 that I keep talking about. You could, but you would be leaving millions and millions and millions on the table. Over the last 10 years, by using my fast cash rules, you could have earned $4.1 million in profit, beginning with just $10,000. And in the members area, I have a spreadsheet of every trade ever taken. So you could see and analyze every trade. And this isn't the option portfolio. And by the way, the option portfolio, it made new highs a week and a half ago. New highs. Yes, in this market. Not last week, the week before last week. Brand new all-time highs. It has never been tweaked. It's never been modified. It's never been altered. Let me tell you guys a funny story. We still have a little time left before we get into more. I've got a lot more stuff for you today. So when I started selling this system, it went from $10,000 to $2.6 million. And that was the headline, how to go from $10,000 to $2.6 million. Everyone thought it was done. I was selling it because it was done. Well, it wasn't. It continued making money. But that's not the funny part. The funny part, I had a client reach out to me, say, hey, Roger, you got to make a change to your advertising. It's not at 10,000 to 2.6 million anymore. It went from 10,000 to 4.1. So the bottom line is, since we've been public with it, it went from $2.6 million all the way to 4.1. And now it's like 4.1, right around there. This is the real deal. And we post the results every 2 weeks in a downloadable spreadsheet with real money that you could actually look and see exactly what happened. It's all right there. You could mimic it, you could back test it, you could follow it. It's easily replicatable. And after this recent flash crash, folks, I'm licking my chops. With the NASDAQ 100 at a massive discount right now, it's at a 12% discount to fair value as we speak. And Trump doing everything. It's not just 2.2 trillion. That was just the first package. The Small Business Administration announced last week that they're going to put more money in because they ran out. So this is just the beginning. I don't know, and I'm saying this in all sincerity. I don't know if there's ever been a better time for the U.S. stock market than right now. Right now, with my completely supercharged strategy. It's called NASDAQ Titan Plus. And in addition to giving you the strategy, we're also telling you what's under the hood, and there's more and more and more stuff. I got the hottest thing for you. Now, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you a once in a life, and I mean a once in a lifetime. I've never ever done this before. It's going to get pretty crazy here, but I'm going to do it because this is a one-time event and people are hurting right now, and I want to help. But I've got something for you here. I want to explain something. That $3,680. Remember in the beginning, I told you that that number is not random. It's not a number that I just got out of my butt. I didn't pull it out of the sky just to impress you. That number, that $3,680, that's the exact number that the strategy earned after the initial first flash crash in 2018 from a $10,000 account in 15 days. 10 trading sessions. Could you believe that? Think about that. And since then, the strategy increased $728,580. And I'm not even talking about the options. But how about some of my members? How about peers just like you? People just like you give you feedback. 23% NASDAQ Titan Plus. 23%. 7,000, 11,000, 12,000, 24,000. Since January 1st, I've increased my trading account $8,000 to $28,000. Germano from Germany. These are real people just like you. Hey, Roger, thanks for everything. Made $10,000 on my account with my first 2-week cluster, Randall B. Remember, these are not once a quarter, once a year, once a decade, or even once a month. Every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. So you don't have to sit there in front of your computer. You don't have to sit there in front of a monitor, glued to your computer like this, looking for a trade. You can go about your life. You can live your life. You'll get the best trades through my proprietary C.S.I scan. And get this, you get the stocks and you get the options. You get full criteria. I don't a la carte anything. You'll get all the option picks, the full cluster. You get 3 stocks and 1 option every time. And you get the Gladiator Hedge. You get the strike price, you get the expiration date, and you're only holding positions for 2 weeks. Again, you get the stocks, the ETFs, and the options. You'll never miss a trade. We'll send you SMS alerts. You don't have to sit there long hours waiting for something to happen. We tell you 2 days in advance. Hey guys, we're going to have a trade in 2 days or a day and a half. Then we give you the trade. Then we send you another reminder. Then we give you the trade. And then we tell you to get into that trade at the end of the day. So we've never once had someone complain, hey, we're not getting good fills, or we're getting worse fills than you, or our numbers look different, or we can't get in. You have so much opportunity to get in. It's ridiculous. There's no complicated spreads. There's no goofy combinations. There's no unlimited risk, limited profit potential type of stuff. It's unlimited profit potential, limited risk. You're not going to get random entry and exit signals. These are 4 trades. They happen exactly at the same time every period. There's no significant time demand from you. 15 minutes every 2 weeks. You can place a trade every 14 days. 10 trading sessions. Then play golf. Go fishing. Please. Relax. Spend time with your family after coronavirus, the pandemic, after the stay-at-home orders are gone. Don't go traveling around the world, but eventually things will get back to normal. Do whatever you've been doing while the NASDAQ Titan Plus and my team do the rest. You're not only getting the trades. Before, the original program, we just gave the trades. Now, we're going to give you access to our Profit Academy. We're going to show you exactly how we get the trades. You're going to get to go under the hood and see how we generate the trades. You'll be able to mimic exactly what we do. And we'll show you how to build your own portfolio, how to get penny stocks onto dollars. We're also going to give you access to the breakout report. This is very, very, very cool. This is a once in a month email and a report that you get with the hottest stocks. We've identified some of the best companies, and I mean companies that can make 2, 3, 4, 5,000% return, 4,788% return. And they don't just cover 5G, we cover stocks related to brand new tech. That comes with it. There's no extra charge. This is very, very valuable. You get access to our hotline. This is a VIP hotline where you can ask questions. We'll give you commentary. We'll give you feedback. You're never going to feel like you're alone. I'm not done yet. Now, this is something different. We've closed this program. It's too hot. I have a very small group of people who I mentor every single day. That's right, every single day. They know all my systems. They know all my strategies. They know everything I do. They know how I think. We meet an hour every day. As a matter of fact, we're going to be meeting at 2 o'clock today. This VIP room is closed. It's very expensive and it's just too much work. I want to give you a month for free because you've joined this program. I've never done anything like that before. 30 days of access is on me. You get to know exactly what I'm doing. You get all my codes. You get to go deeper than most people have ever seen. It's like getting a hedge fund training on me, and you don't have to do it in 26 years. And you get a gladiator guarantee. If you don't have the potential to earn $3,680 in your first 30 days, I'll continue to mentor you on my dime. That program is very, very expensive and it's closed to new members. But I'm going to keep you in that program because I want you to succeed. I want your membership to be paid off in 30 days or less. You get the SMS alerts, you get the hotline, you get Profit Academy, you get the signal spoon-fed to you, you get the VIP trade room, you get the breakout report, and most importantly, you get the guarantee. Now, you get exactly 96 total trades every year. Easily value of $52,000. Remember, this is a system that went from $10,000 to $4.1 million, all with trades that you could look and identify and backtest and see yourself. And that's not even talking options. If you can go from $10,000 to $4.1 million with the underlying stock, can you imagine what you can do with the options? Anyway, easily $52,000. How about my VIP trade room? That 30-day access is easily worth $3,000. Again, we're not even advertising that access anymore. It's just too much of my time, too valuable, and I need to give individualized attention. 12 issues of breakout report, easily valued at $2,000. We've identified some of the best and the hottest recession-proof stocks. We give videos, we give tutorials, we give a lot of info in that report. And you get the Profit Academy. You get to see under the hood. You get to see how the trades we make are created. You get to see how you can learn to fish for yourself. And you get the hotline. The hotline, you can call our VIP team. They'll answer any questions you may have. You'll never, ever feel alone like you're on an island. And you get the gladiator, which is me putting my money on the line, because then I have to tutor you for free. Now, to say this is worth $63,000, if it was 26 years back and I was learning to trade, I would say it's worth $630,000 because you're getting a proven strategy that works in every market environment, including really well in the one we're in right now. Now, insiders, I would charge about $3,000 a year, and in lifetime, I would charge another $3,000. That would be a $6,000 value, easy. And then if I did lifetime, or it would just be $3,000 a year. I know folks have been experiencing a lot of pain. I know the last couple of months have not been pretty, and I want to save you guys some money. So we're going to do something really cool. I love Hubert. I love Jeanette. I want to do something really cool. I've known these guys for a while. I promised them that I'm going to give their viewers a deal of a lifetime. I'm going to give you guys a $2,000 fast cash credit today. That means, now we only got 50 spots and we will sell out. There's plenty of people here. How about $997 for a year? Now, if I sold it at $997 for a year, I would be giving it at 33% of cost. But you know what? How about I do something I've never, ever, ever, ever done before? I'm going to make this a deal. I can't even imagine doing this. So lifetime. Folks, go to rogerscott.com/Titan. Lifetime, $997. In the worst case scenario, this would be $6,000. You're saving $5,000. Do it now. There's only 50 spots available. Go to rogerscott.com/Titan. Do it now. Now, how many trades have we already made since this flash crash? How about a screenshot to show you exactly what we've accomplished? 66.2% on the first rotation post-crash, 26.3% on the rotation afterwards, all in 2 weeks. These are real trades. Can you imagine making this kind of return right after the flash crash? Folks, go to rogerscott.com/Titan. Do it now or call 904-404-8870. Folks, there's 50 spots here. They will sell out. This is a lifetime opportunity. You would not pay less than $6,000. This is our prime system. If you've ever bought it before, upgrade now to lifetime. How much time does it take? We're talking 15 minutes every 2 weeks. Folks, go to rogerscott.com/Titan. Do it now. This is the biggest non-brainer I've ever seen in my life. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. We're going to get into questions in just a minute. Wouldn't you take 15 minutes every 2 weeks for returns like this? Come on, 5,300, that could change your life. 3,400, that could slowly start changing your life. 8,500, these returns can get you out of a cubicle. Freedom, freedom, this is what this means. Change your life from $10,000 to $4.1 million. Every trade accounted for. It's definitely worth 15 minutes of my time. Folks, do not delay. You could use any brokerage platform. If you could trade a stock, you could trade this. You could trade this from any other country, and you get a 2,000 fast cash credit today. From flash crash to fast cash. Now, let's take some questions. All right, let's see here. Let's get some questions here. All right. You don't need a large account for this. You could start with a small account. Yes, options are included as well. You got the stocks, you got the options, and you got the ETF. You've got all of that there, everything. Based on my analysis, is the SPY going to fall or rise? I think we're going to see more upside in the near future. How much investment will be required for trading? We've seen investors start with $2,000. These are limited risk options. Average options, $2, $3. You know what else we started doing? We started even giving you guys debit spreads, and they're included. I can't even believe that we're doing this for $997. I mean, it is crazy. It is crazy. Suji, will there be advance alerts before you? Of course, Suji, we're going to give you a trade 24 hours in advance. We're going to tell you, hey, there's going to be a trade in 2 days. Then we're going to say, hey, there's going to be a trade in 14 hours. And then we give you the trade and tell you to place it in 8 hours. We've never given more notice. Yeah, Bonnie, you don't need a big account for this. You could do this with a tiny, tiny account. We've had traders start with literally $2,000, $3,000. And yes, they're all cluster trades. In other words, they're all trades where you're placing clusters. A cluster is exactly how an institutional trader trades. You've got 3 stocks and a hedge. That way you're always protected. Now, folks, we don't have a lot of spots left. I've never, ever given a deal like that. Nas says, well, we need to educate ourselves. Well, Nas, that's what I was talking about earlier. This is what I was saying. At first, that's the only change we made to this package, aside from giving a 80% discount right now because of what's happening in the market. But here's the deal. We're giving you the under the hood part as well. The VIP program has all my codes, and the getting started guide, let me tell you what it is. The Profit Academy shows you exactly how to do it yourself. Excuse me, my cat here I got my cat here. Sorry about that. Sue, if you're not happy, No, Sue, that doesn't work that way. Sue, this offer, if you've bought it before, you can upgrade to lifetime. This is a once in a lifetime. Yeah, Scott, that's what I'm saying. This is the only time I'm doing it for this summit. Exactly. That's right. No, it was not this. It was a 1 year for 365. Here it's for lifetime. Yeah, that was for 1 year. No experience is required. Small Cloud. No experience is required. Anonymous. Because we're not a hedge fund. Why are we no valid registration or company? Because we're not a hedge fund. We're not providing you, we're not executing the trade. We're not providing you personalized investment advice. Why would we be a hedge fund since we're not providing a hedge fund advice? Yeah, if you need a hedge fund, you would pay $20 fee, $20, that would be great. 20% fee, and you have a net worth of $1 million. Otherwise, you can't be in a hedge fund. Lorraine says, how would you place all 4 trades? You would do them individually, and we show you how to do it in the Getting Started guide. Lawrence, yes, you need the 997 to get in, and you need an account. So yeah, you would need a couple $1,000s to get started as well. And again, folks, I'm not kidding. If you go to our website, you would see this for $2,997. Then after you buy, you would probably get an opportunity to upgrade for lifetime for another $29.97. You can get lifetime, no other fees, no payments, not lifetime, one time for $997. That is an opportunity of a lifetime. UBAM is asking you, do you go with value investing or swing trade? This is a 2-week swing trade. It's a perfect swing trade. And what's great is we know exactly how long we're going to be holding the options for. And so they're IRA friendly. Since we're not doing any credit spreads, we're only doing debits if you want to. So you get the debit spread. So if it's like a $10 option and you don't have a lot of money, we give you the debit spread to lower that cost. Suji says, what is the minimum holding time? There's no day trading. It's 2 weeks. Each trade is 2 weeks. Thomas, it works perfectly for Canadians. It works beautifully for Canadians. I would say about 20% of our clients are Canadians, and they like to use Interactive Broker, by the way. Sandra says, I'm trying to sign up. That's great. And Sandra, if you have a problem signing up, just call 904-444-8870. We only have 50 spots, and there's over 500 people on this broadcast. So it looks like we are going to sell out. Anonymous says, what is the basis of the C.S.I. system? It's that show that you watch on CBS. I'm just kidding. No, it's called Cumulative Strength Index. It's a way I average the price, the value on a percentage basis of stocks to give you a comparison of each stock against the other. It's like dog against dog. And if you enter this program, you'll actually get that code as part of it, because that's in my VIP program. Again, we only have 50 spots left. Sandra, if you're trying to sign up, leave your phone number, or just post your phone number and your email here, and the nice folks here will forward your info to us. Nobody will see this except us. The people, these are secured servers, so nobody will see anybody else's com. And says, how do I get my free ebook from the summit? I think Jeanette will have to answer that question. Anonymous says, what are your gains with a minimum of $2,000? Well, Anonymous, here's the thing. We started with $10,000 and now it's $4.1 million. So just divide that by 4. So you would start with $2,000 and it would be probably about 1.8, 1.7, give or take. But remember, that's the underlying asset. If you trade options, the number would be 7, 8, 9 times bigger, because options have a lot more upside. Thanks, Sandra. We got it. We will have someone give you a call. Absolutely. Yeah, there's probably, you can't get through probably because there's so many people calling at this time. Biofade, my plea. Sorry, this is today only. This is literally today only. Hey, Jeanette, are we out of time?
Hey, Roger. Yeah, we're running a couple minutes. I didn't realize I was live.
All right. Well, listen, folks.